Hello guys, I am yours Madan Mohan Reddy. Let us try to learn about the history of ancient India in each video from today on each topic. Every competitive exam taker should benefit from my videos. Today through this video we will briefly know about the pre-Mauryan period. Let's get into the video without further ado. Pre-Mauryan period. The 6th century before Common Era has left a permanent impression on Indian history because it witnessed the intense philosophical debates and discourses and resultant implications. Among the various thinkers contributing to this unique phase were Mahavira and Buddha, who compelled the attention of the world to Indian traditions. The political system at the time of Mahavira and Buddha was characterized by the existence of two distinct forms of government, monarchical kingdom and clan oligarchies or Ganasamghas. The geographical locations of these units were unique, with the monarchical kingdom occupying the Ganga-Yamuna valley and the Ganasamghas being located near the foothills of the Himalayas. Kshatriya clans such as Shakyas, Mallas, inhabited the Ganasamghas or the Lichchhavis.The Ganasamghas were organized on the lineage principle, with the entire clan participating in the exercise of power. There was constant conflict between the various political units, and the picture that emerges from the Jain and Buddhist literature is that it was a period of expanding horizons and political consolidations that ultimately ended with the establishment of the Mauryan Empire. Bimbisara, the 5th century before Common Era Magadha ruler, began a systematic and intensive phase of state organization. The earlier pastoral-cum-agricultural economy with tribal organization had given way to a more settled agrarian-based economy that became a major factor in state formation. It made possible the support of a large standing army that was imperative for the expanding frontiers of the kingdoms of the Ganga Valley and as an instrument of coercive control within the kingdom. The agrarian-based economy encouraged the formation of an impressive officialdom that is an indispensable aspect of state formation. The standing army, divided into various specialized groups, replaced the tribal militia of the earlier society and became an instrument of coercion directly in the control of the king. The growing armies of the aggressive expanding monarchies even attracted the youth of Ganasamghas, who saw in them a possible outlet for their military skills. Now let us know rise of the Magadhan Empire. Out of the 16 Mahajanapadas, 4 were very powerful. They were Magadha, Vatsa, Avanti and Koshala. The period from 4th century to 6th century before Common Era saw the struggle for supremacy among these 4 Mahajanapadas. Magadha emerged as the powerful and prosperous state. The founder of Magadha was Jarasandha and Brihadratha. But the growth started under the Haryanka, expansion took place under the Shishunaga and Nanda, reached its zenith under the Mauryas. The earliest capital of Magadha was at Rajagiri, which was called Girivraja at that time. The main reasons for the rise of Magadha was the geographical location, with both Rajgir and Pataliputra situated at strategic locations. Abundance of natural resources such as iron enabled Magadhan rulers to equip with sufficient and effective weapons. Rise of the town and use of metallic money boosted trade and commerce. The princes could levy tolls and taxes to maintain their armies. The rulers started using elephants in their warfare against the enemies. Now let us know about pre-Mauryan economic system. In the pre-Mauryan period, for the first time an advanced food-producing economy spread over middle Gangetic plains and the beginning of urban economy in this area. Cattle rearing were no longer the primary occupation and were replaced by agriculture. Rice was the staple cereal produced in the region. Iron played a crucial role in opening the rain-fed forests to clearance, cultivation and settlement. This period saw the second urbanization in India, as towns had come into existence as centers of industry and trade. The use of burnt bricks and ring wells appeared in the middle of NBPW, means northern black polished ware culture means phase in the 3rd century before Common Era. Specialized craftsmen tended to form guilds because it facilitated carriage of raw materials and the distribution of finished articles. At least 18 guilds or shrines of artisans were known and functional. The guild was not the highly developed mercantile system that it was to become later. Each guild inhabited a particular section of the town. The introduction of a monetary system facilitated trade. Coins made of metal appeared during the age of Gautam Buddha. The earliest hoards of coins are found in eastern Uttar Pradesh and Magadha. They were referred to as Nishka and Satamana. Anathapindaka was a Shreshti of Shravasti who had given Jetuvana Vihara to Gautam Buddha. Menduka was another Shreshti of Rajagruha. The Dharma Sutras laid down the duties of each of the four Varna, and the civil and criminal law came to be based on the Varna division. All kinds of disabilities were imposed on the Shudras. They were deprived of religious and legal rights and relegated to the lowest position in the society. Patriarchal tendencies became dominant. Women were looked down upon and were not allowed to access education. Now let us know about the foreign invasions of India in the pre-Mauryan period. The Persian invasion, Cyrus, 558 to 530 before Common Era, of Persia was the first conqueror who penetrated into Indian subcontinent. He destroyed the city of Kapisa, now it called as north of Kabul. Herodotus, the Greek historian, tells us that in 516 before Common Era, Darius I, 552 to 486 before Common Era, sent a naval expedition to explore the valley of the Sindhu River and annexed the part of Punjab and Sindh. The main impact of Persian invasion was the introduction of the Aramaic form of writing, which later developed into the Kharosti alphabet. It led to promotion and increase in Indo-Iranian trade. The fusion of Iranian and Persian features into the Mauryan art was visible. Buddhism impacted the Zoroastrian religion of ancient Persia. The Greek invasion. After the conquest of the Persian Empire, Alexander marched to India through the Khyber Pass in 326 before Common Era. He constructed a bridge and proceeded towards Taxashila. The king of Taxashila surrendered and offered to help Alexander. The most powerful among the northwestern was the ruler of kingdom between Hydaspes, which is called Jhelum now, and the Acyzenes called Chinab now, whom the Greeks call Porus. Porus was defeated and made captive by Alexander. Alexander's advance was arrested on the bank of the Beas, for his soldiers mutinied and refused to proceed further after the battle of Vitasta and Jhelum. While retreating, he divided the whole territory from the Indus to the Beas into 3 provinces and put them under the overall charge of 3 Greek governors. The Greek invasion of India opened the trade route between northwest India and West Asia. The invasion led to more Greek settlements in this area. Opening up of 4 distinct routes between India and Greek by land and sea paved the way for increased trade and cultural contacts between the 2 regions. Indians learned from the Greek in the fields of astronomy, coinage, architecture and sculpture. The Gandhara school of sculpture became well known. Thank you guys. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, then like and comment on the video. Subscribe to the channel and select the bell icon. In the upcoming video, let's know about the Maurya emperors.